y'all, I know y'all are tired of this cold weather. I know you're tired of the snow. I know that y'all want to be out and about, but the roads are still have some spots of black ice. So if you can, if you don't have to go back to work, please stay inside and please stay safe. On the way up here today, you know, yesterday was my birthday and I got a year younger because I've decided I'm backing up. I'm not going forward, I'm backing up. And I'm going to back up just to that year that I got to start drawing Social Security. So we're just going to do that. But I want to think about, oh my gosh, what do you do when you're stuck in the house? Well, what I've been doing is a cooking and a cooking and a cooking and a cooking. I wore this cookbook out. All I've done's cook. I've cooked this recipe, that recipe, but I might have made, finally, my best pound cake. My best pound cake. Now, don't tell my granny nothing about this. Now, she's in heaven, so y'all who are going to heaven soon, don't tell my granny this. I changed her recipe one tiny bit. Just a teeny bit, and I'm going to share the change on Facebook with y'all. Just a little tiny bit. And I whipped it longer than I normally do, and I promise you, I don't know. I usually time everything pretty well. This one I did one change to the ingredient, and then I whipped it a little bit longer. It was a good pound cake. It was a good pound cake. But if you're stuck inside and you can't go anywhere, all of a sudden that pound cake has disappeared because it gets eaten, because you're like, okay, I'll have another piece of pound cake, I'll have another piece of pound cake, I'll have another piece of pound cake. Lord have mercy, share it with your neighbors, because if you don't, you're going to eat the whole thing. Cooking keeps us busy when it's icy and snowy outside. It keeps us out of trouble. You can cook up a bunch of stuff and put it in your freezer. You can do whatever. But stay in the house and stay safe, y'all. Now, for you adventurers who went out, we've got a lot of your pictures where y'all went out and took pictures of the snow. You played in the snow. Some of you took your four-legged friends out there to play in the snow. But the smart ones of you stayed in the house like me and stayed warm. I stayed in the house, and I stayed in the house, and I stayed in the house, and I stayed in the house. And then I had to get up and come back in this morning. I was like, boo, I don't want to get out in this. It was 24 degrees. No, I didn't want to get out in it, but I'm back. Still kind of keep my distance from folks because I have been doing that chicken broth that I've told everybody about, and it is so simple, it is so yummy, it is so refreshing, and I'm feeling better. I was so clogged up, I was coughing my head off, and I was thinking I might ought to go to the doctor. Well, I changed my mind, and I made me that big old pot of that stuff, and I've been drinking it and drinking it and drinking it. So Mama called it Jewish penicillin. I call it chicken piccata soup. I don't care what you call it. It makes you feel better, and it opens you up. And it really did help me a lot. So if y'all didn't get to see the recipe last time, you take a big old fattening hen and you add, I use a sweet onion and I quarter it up and put it in the chicken while it's cooking. I cook it slowly, about an hour and a half, and salt, pepper, a stick of butter, and some garlic, and I just cook it. Then you remove all the chicken and put it in a bowl, put it to the side, and you split that chicken up, and you use half of it for chicken and dumplings, and you use half of it to make chicken salad. Now, everybody loves chicken salad. I don't know that I like anything cold this time of year. I'd a whole lot rather have something hot. So, but if you haven't tried this recipe, we're going to have, you know, the old wives' tale. If snow stays on the ground more than 3 days, we're going to have another event in 10 days. Well, guess what? On Inauguration Day, we probably will not be celebrating or doing anything ourselves. We'll probably be staying at the house because it's going to be miserable and cold. And there's a little precipitation coming in this weekend, and according to the old wives' tale, it might turn to snow. We don't know what it's going to turn into, and neither does the weatherman. They're just guessing. Their guesstimate is that something wet is going to fall on Saturday, but we don't know what it's going to be yet. And I sure hope it's not going to be more snow. I know y'all like snow. I know you do. I've seen your post and everybody's all yee-hawing and all happy. I don't like that stuff. I like it from a distance. I like pictures of it. And I love sharing pictures with y'all, but that's about it. Well, there are two precious little girls who got to celebrate their birthday over this snow event. But they wanted to do it at a pizza place that happened to be closed because of the event. So where would you choose to take your precious twins for their birthday party during a snowmageddon when you know everything is closed? The Waffle House, of course, and it was a perfect event for a birthday party for two precious little girls from Pickens County. You saw them here on the set with me when they were little bitty, and they sat right here on our desk, and we did a program with them and their precious mama. And I want to share some photos of them. We've got lots of photos to share today. But I just giggled myself. I thought, Lord have mercy, who would have thought of doing a birthday party at the Waffle House? It was perfect. Xana would love to have a birthday party at the Waffle House. I don't know that the Waffle House could stand because Xana doesn't stay still. These girls were good and sweet and minded their mama. Xana would have been up running around, and she'd been over there trying to cook because she is, I'm afraid she's growing in to be the boss, and we've let her do this. But if you got snowed in, if you couldn't celebrate the birthday parties, you can make the best of it. You can do what you can do while you can do it, and then you can do better later. But don't get out on the roads. Schools are still closed in Gilmer County, and there's a reason. There's still danger on the roadways. They wouldn't be closing it just for the fun of it. It's because they are protecting that precious cargo that is transported to the schools. Now, if you're a school bus driver and you've been off these special days, I know you're just itching to get back in that school bus. But remember safety. I always look back to the 1980s in Pickens County when Fesser Glenn Anderson was our school superintendent, and that man, when there was any kind of bad weather, he got in his vehicle and he rode the roads, and he made a decision based on what he saw. He didn't listen to the weatherman. He didn't listen to hearsay. Glenn Anderson, Fesser got out on his own, and he made that trip. And he said, if I can't do it, the buses can't do it. We're not going to risk these kids. If you parents are getting antsy and you're like, we need to get these kids back in school, don't risk anybody's life with this, because there is still black ice in a lot of places. So be safe and be happy staying at home, and do like me, just cook and cook and cook and cook. Now, there's something I could have cooked on for a week. I could have cooked on that fish. I could have fed Pharaoh's army, and we could have invited anybody who lived within walking distance could have walked over and got them some catfish and hush puppies. Look at that fish. Those Fountain Boys are at it again. And as always, they love what they do. They absolutely love what they do. And what they do is they do well with a fishing rod. And you know, the really cool thing they love is teaching children about fishing and teaching kids about what a great time you have on the water. And it's like Dawn says, Mama, there's nothing any prettier than that sunrise coming up on that lake. I don't care where you are and what part of the country. It is absolutely beautiful, and many of the tournaments start just at daylight, and so you get to see that beautiful sunrise on many of the lakes around the country. But congratulations again. They're always doing something cool and always loving it and always giving back, and that's what the Fountain Boys do. So now this is a sunset, and at the same time I flipped around and there was a full moon coming up. That was the prettiest sight to see the sunset, just that little bit of pink. That's from the ridge and ball ground. And as I turned around, then all of a sudden there was the full moon coming up, and there's the full moon just over the ridge. And I thought, isn't that unusual that we see the sun setting and we see that full moon? Beautiful full moon last night. So if you didn't sleep last night, or you were up all night long thinking you needed another cup of coffee or another piece of pound cake, whatever, it's because we've got us a full moon going on. Now, get your kids in the kitchen. If you're at home with the kids and they're not going to school, Get them in the kitchen and teach the kids to cook. Pick out some of my simple recipes. If you've got my cookbook, there's so many simple recipes in here that I love to share with my kids. This is Miss Evelyn's snowman. She made a snowman, and it was really cute, and it lasted, and it lasted, and it lasted because the temperatures didn't get too hot for a bit. They were up in the 40s yesterday, but still lots of snow and lots of ice, so be careful. Be careful. Now, when Mrs. Snow Lady melted, I bet you she just went right down under the porch and said, well, I'll stay here till spring. This is at Calvin Farmer Park, and the kids were enjoying that. And that's at Malone's Pond in Ball Ground. That's how much snow there was there. We had different amounts of snow in different areas, but everybody got a beautiful glimpse of the world as it was in pure white and just beautiful. Some areas got a whole lot more snow than others, and the one thing I'm really thankful for is we didn't have a whole lot of ice, and there are some slick spots though, so please be careful. And this again is kids at Calvin Farmer Park, and they were having a great time sledding. And you know, it just was that. Now this is when we're going to have fun. Next Monday, we're going to inaugurate President Donald John Trump for the second time. I'm so excited. I can't hardly stand it. I cannot wait. I want somebody to design a really, really cool t-shirt that I just can't live without, that I can get. So far, I hadn't seen anything that really just flipped my trigger, but I really liked that. So, but remember, if you're out and about in these mountains, the roads are still a little bit, there are places that they're treacherous. Okay, here's the recipe. It is on my Facebook page. And if you haven't tried it, I promise you, it will open your chest up, it will help you breathe, and it gives you a lot of the liquid and a lot of nutrients that you need when you're fighting stuff. And we've all been fighting stuff. That's why I'm staying away from people. I'm not bringing guests. I'm not being around folks, because everywhere you go, somebody's hacking, somebody's coughing, somebody's got something. Now, this is over at Calvin Farmer Park again. And folks were having fun, really, really having fun. It is a rare event in Ball Ground to see that much snow, and everybody was having a really, really good time. So if you've still got snow in your area, send me some more pictures, because I love sharing these. And again, this was, Ball Ground didn't get but a couple of inches, but I know a lot of y'all, I've seen your photos where you had 5 or 6 inches. Now this is Granny's pound cake recipe. I've used it since I was about 16 years old. And I made a little teeny change on Saturday when I made this cake. And I'll tell you, it was about the best pound cake I've ever made. That's my Granny's tube pan. I used it, and I've got a new pan that I really, really like, but I thought for this occasion, on that day, I wanted to use my Granny's pan, so I did, and this pound cake was beyond good. It was like gooder. Is that a word? Is gooder a word? I don't think it is, but we'll pretend it is. But it was gooder than any cake I've ever made. So really, really good cake, and it was one of those things. If you're snowbound and you're getting bored and crazy, then you just make a cake, and this is what I did. And it was just really, really good, y'all. This is one of those things, when it came out of the oven, I thought, well, it's going to be really good, or I don't know, maybe not any different than before, but it was a little different. It was a little bit lighter, a little bit fluffier. And it was yummy, yummy, yummy. And again, that recipe is on my Facebook page, and the way I changed it just a little bit, I'm going to add that and give you a new look. I don't want my granny to get mad at me, because she's in heaven watching over me, and this is her recipe, and I changed it just a teeny bit, because what's a recipe? Only a beginning. And that's what I did. I took her recipe and I just altered it a tiny bit. And I think next time I'll alter it again and do the same thing I did this time. I whipped it just a little bit longer, and I used 1 less egg, and I added some sour cream. So that's my trick. I took out the egg and I added some sour cream. And it really, I think it did the trick. I think it did the trick. And I reckon everybody who ate it must have liked it, because it disappeared. It was kind of that disappearing pound cake. But yeah, and I about dropped it when it was coming out of the oven. It was hot, and I just about landed in the floor. So But there you go, and there's Granny's pan, and you cook it for 55 to 60 minutes, and you just test it in your oven. Everybody's oven does a little bit differently. That's me right there. I'm done with winter. I'm so sick of this cold weather. Oh, please, bring me anything. Bring me the allergy season. Bring me the pollen. I don't care, as long as you bring it at 65 degrees, because I am so tired of the cold, and I know y'all are too. When we got old bones, them old bones hurt. But now yesterday, when I had that birthday, I backed up a year. So I'm going to just keep backing up till I get to my Social Security year. So now this is where it was treacherous and icy. Look at the ice in the trees. Lucky that more people didn't lose power than they did. And a shout out and a thank you to all our power companies. They did a fantastic job. In Ball Ground, we were without power for several hours, and it was manageable because of gas heaters, but thank goodness for the power companies. You guys rock. They did a great job. And this is at Malone's Pond, and that's part of phase 2, and that's the next development. And this is our first inauguration. I can't wait to compare it with the next inauguration's picture, because I think the crowds will be bigger. I think that there's more excitement this time. I think that we're so tired of the last 4 years that people will be walking to get to Washington, D.C. to be at the inauguration. A lot of folks are wanting to go, and a lot of folks are going to try to make the trip. So I think it's been, now here is our precious girls, these sweet, sweet twins who are as different as night and day, and their precious mama said, okay, we're going to celebrate their birthday, so they did it at the Waffle House, and I love this. The Waffle House is probably one of Xana's favorite places to eat, so Xana would be all about having a party at the Waffle House. But it worked out perfect because the pizza place they were going to be at was closed because of the weather, and so they just loaded the family up and they hit the Waffle House. And I'm sure the Waffle House was tickled to death to see that many people, and it just worked out great. So there's Mama and Papa, and there's one of the girls, and Lord have mercy, they are so, it blows my mind. They were just tiny little girls the last time they were here with us, and now they're growing up so fast. And they're so individual and so different, and just sweet, sweet girls. And so happy birthday, twins. Happy birthday. I love it. I love it. And I'm sure the waitress at Waffle House was tickled to death, because I don't know of another birthday party I've seen at Waffle House. I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but I think it was a great plan, because by the time their birthday came, everybody's kind of tired of being snowed in, kind of tired of being stuck. Now this, I think that would be a good t-shirt. I think that would be a good t-shirt, and I kind of like that one. So yeah, the return, and thank goodness we are returning to sanity. We're returning to common sense. We're returning to the basics, and the basics mean that you live according to the life of the Bible. Now there is our Indian directional tree at Malone's Pond, and if you don't know about the history of the Cherokee, you can get in touch with me, and you can get a copy of a book that you can learn a little bit about it, Cry the Eagle. And there's a lot of interest in what happened with the Cherokee in the area that we live. And from Hightower over to Forsyth County, just a lot of interest, and it's documented well in the book Cry the Eagle. So, but there's the directional tree at Malone's Pond. It's going to be in the middle of a little area called Heritage Park that will be really, really cool, and a nice place for people to relax, to walk, and to reflect on the history of the Cherokee. That is what the soup looks like when I get through with it, guys, because I put lemon in mine, add the vitamin C. Now this, for a week or so, we talked a little bit about the trial that happened down in Cherokee County. This was a beautiful, beautiful property where the gentleman of 38 years was sadly burned to death in a burn pile, and this is the property. If this were your life and you were blessed enough to live in this beautiful farm, have a great life for many, many years, and it turned to murder, what in the world were you thinking? It blows my mind. I look at that and I think, oh my gosh. Now this, I won an award. The award was given to me by Mr. Ellijay. He said, that's the best stuff I ever put in my mouth. And I gave he and Margie, I fixed them some stuff and had somebody take it to them. And it was so funny because he said, that's the best stuff ever. And he said, we ate on it, we ate on it, we ate on it. And I said, well, there you go. And this is how I'm going to celebrate Inauguration Day. I'm going to be making me some fight pancakes with syrup. And we're going to get ready to fight for America and for our right to get back to common sense, to core values of the Bible, and to love life. And this is my favorite sausage, and it might be called Tennessee Pride. It's, you know, if you find a sausage that works for you, do it. And this is what I've done during the week of having snow. I've cooked, and I've cooked, and I've cooked. And I always choose to use my granny's dishes. There's something about preparing a meal and putting it on somebody's dishes that you love. Can you ladies make gravy? How many of y'all make gravy every day? I love gravy and biscuits. Lord, I love gravy and biscuits. They're probably not the best thing you can do for yourself, for your body, but I love them. I love making biscuits in an iron skillet. That's my thing. And if you haven't tried that, I used to do it on a bread pan, and I switched, and I started doing it several years ago in my iron skillets, and they just cook better. They cook even, and they're just so yummy and so good. But cook for your family while you're stuck in the house. Be a joy to your family. Don't be running around like a grump. Just start cooking, and you can cook. You can start with this soup that I make. You can make biscuits and gravy. Do whatever you can to give back to your family. Now, that's the onion that I put in the soup, and I diced it up. I just quartered it up, and I use a sweet onion. But that is something. Lots of pepper goes in it. Lots of pepper, some salt, and I did add a little bit of chicken bouillon to it a couple of times. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just use the plain bouillon from the cooking it off. But that's the size hen. I used a big fattening hen, and that's a big pot. So when I make it, I make a bunch of it. And you can just put it in your freezer and have it ready for days like this, and that's how I serve it. If you don't like capers, don't use the capers. But I like adding the lemon to it because it does add vitamin C, and right now we could all use a little bit of vitamin C. So there you go. Okay, we just went through the weekend that sadly celebrated the last day of my daughter's life. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's been 12 years. It doesn't get any easier, but it becomes, I can't even use the word acceptable because you have no choice but to accept it because it was God's will. And that's how we have to look at when we lose somebody suddenly. When we lose somebody suddenly, when a horrific accident happens, when something like a suicide happens, we have to accept that as God's will. We're going to share some photos of Angela, and we're going to share a song that Dwight Sanford wrote for his mama. He lost his mom suddenly. She was fine. She was fixing supper, and then she was gone. And that's what happens. That's what life is. Life is about that moment that Jesus calls us home. So we're going to share some photos of Angela, and we're going to share one of his original songs. This is a song that was written in honor and in memory of his precious mama. So here we go.
I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight, 'cause Jesus just called to find one home. I gave my mom a temporary farewell today. I held her hand and watched her fade away. Out among the angels to heaven's peaceful shore, to be with our sweet Jesus and live forevermore. Mommy went the way she always wanted from here to there in just a moment's glow. She didn't have to suffer, she just drifted off to sleep into the arms of Jesus, forevermore to keep. And I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight. They're gathered in, join hand in hand. I know the angels are filled with delight, 'cause they've got my little mommy in the band. If there's someone with trouble singing sweet harmony, she'll help them on the part just the way she used to me. And if someone needs a friend just to sit and talk with them, she'll answer every call, even if it's 3 a.m. Yes, I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight. They're gathered in on heaven's shining shore. I know the angels are filled with delight, and Mom won't be alone anymore. I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight, 'cause Jesus just called to find one home. Yeah, Jesus sure called to find one home.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy taught him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Christmas traditions are very different for many families. When I was a kid, Christmas tradition was going to downtown Atlanta to watch the lighting of the great Christmas tree at Rich's. It was so amazing. It was so much fun. We couldn't wait until they did the music, and we knew that when they hit that high note on Oh Holy Night, then that the lights on the tree was going to come on, and it was such an exciting time. Well, there's been a new time created in the city of Macon, Georgia, and this was done by my producer, Fred Wyndham from Heart of the Home. His nephew, Brian, and his sister have been responsible for making the magic happen in Macon, Georgia. It is known nationally. It is known worldwide now. It is one of the most popular light events that you can attend, and if you didn't get to attend it this year, put it on your bucket list for next year. We're going to share just a little bit of that. Now, this was on ABC News, the nightly news. It is a big to-do. Brian and Joe work forever getting this thing ready. But the coolest thing about this light event is it is set to the music of a beautiful orchestra. It is absolutely incredible, and it draws in thousands and thousands of people. Brian is responsible for the renovation of many old buildings in downtown Macon. He has taken things that would have been left aside, abandoned, and he has turned them into beautiful historical pieces of art. And now he has turned downtown Macon into just that, beautiful pieces of art. So we're going to go to a little visit to Macon, Georgia. Next year, make plans to go to Macon, Georgia. This starts right around Thanksgiving and is growing and growing and growing. Every single year they add to it and they do something more unique, and it is to spread the Christmas spirit around the world. There's one thing about the family that is involved in this. They spread the love of Jesus everywhere they go, and this is their way of giving back. So if you have an opportunity, if you can make plans, load up your van, your car, your truck, pile in everybody you know, and take them to Macon, Georgia. So again, I'll remind you, as we approach that time, you know what? It's not that far till we're right back to Christmas again. Isn't it crazy how time flies? Well, time does fly. And when we look back on life, we think about, oh my gosh, who have I been around for a huge length of time? Well, the people that I think about, Matt Deibler and I were talking about this yesterday. It's been a long time of watching the Inspirations go from that original group of the Inspirations to the new Inspirations today. I still love the old guys. Those are my inspirations. I still love them. The new guys are winning all kinds of awards and they're absolutely fantastic. But the old guys, those are my favorites. There's something about an old favorite. There's something about feeling comfortable around somebody. Well, you got to visit with somebody who always makes y'all feel comfortable, Mr. Ellijay. He's been around these parts for a long, long time, and he's been delivering music in so many venues, so many places, so many different opportunities, but never had he been on live television until I said, hey, why don't you come and do my show? Well, the rest is history. So we're going to share a little bit of his music now. We're going to share some of him sitting here on the set picking a guitar. We're going to share some of his original songs that he wrote. And it's so strange to me because he'd been doing music forever. I'd been up here doing TV for about 16 years and I'd never heard of him. So we've decided there's no excuse for people not to have heard of Mr. Ellijay. Here we go. All right.
See. Misty mountain, rainbow skies, far away look in your eyes. Tell me that you had enough of traffic jams and city stuff. Ain't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Rocking chairs out on the deck, feet propped up and what the heck? Almost heaven, West Virginia, the ridge of mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, I hear her voice in the morning hour. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. I'm driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads take me home. Country roads take me home. Down country roads take me home. Country roads.
Well, we do love his music, and he do love his President Trump. And he is in trouble with me because he was supposed to come and gotten this shirt last week and took it to our boy Josh Goebel to share with him to wear on Inauguration Day. If you don't have a Trump shirt to wear on Inauguration Day, for goodness sake, get you one, and let's support the man who is truly going to change our world. You know, before the election, we all talked about it, and Dwight Sanford was just like me. He was a nervous wreck that he would not get elected. We were scared to death. Little did we know that the common sense of America had come back into play. And so this shirt is one that I wear often. And I realized the other day when I was doing my cooking segment and I was going to post that, I had on my favorite shirt, which is this shirt right here. And I wear it often because I do support our new president. I do support what is going to happen for America. We are coming together as Democrats, as Republicans, as independents. We are coming together to change our nation, and we are excited like never before. And I love that. But Dwight Sanford, get up here and get this shirt and take it to Josh Goebel now. Enough of this foolishness. He's got to wear that shirt on Monday because we've got to celebrate. Monday is a day to celebrate this nation. Monday is a day to join together. And I think that nobody would be any happier than Martin Luther King to see that our country is coming together after he had a dream, and he did have a dream, that America would be better than ever before. And there were times that I'm sure Martin Luther King would have been very disappointed in America when we saw the rioting, when we saw the thief and the treachery and the things that happened on our streets of America. It's time to shut that down, slow it down, and clean house. And there's going to be a house cleaning on Monday. I'm excited to death. Can y'all tell? I'm totally excited. But we've got to just calm down, enjoy some of that good Mr. Ellijay music, and get ready because the inauguration is on Monday. It is also Martin Luther King Day, so it's going to be on a national holiday, and it is a day that y'all can just sit at home, watch the inauguration. Yes, I would love to have gone, but it's a little bit further than I like to travel. About 20 miles in this direction, about 20 miles in that direction, about 20 miles. That's about my limit to where I like to go. Although I would love to go to Graceland and see Elvis's house. But you know, I watched it on YouTube last night, and I think I've seen about what I'd want to see if I was there. But get out, get out and share with your neighbors the good news. The good news is America is going to work together. We're going to work together as independents, as Republicans, as Democrats, and we are going to support our new administration, and we are going to fix the things that are broken in our country. And we can do it. We can do it. So please today, support America, support our country. And that is a public service announcement from Dwight G. Sanford. Dwight Sanford. It's not G, is it? Is it? I'll have to find out. I got to call him now. I can't remember his middle name. That's funny. Okay, we're going to go to some of his, Dwight Amon Sanford, is that right? Dwight A. Sanford, yeah, okay. He'll fire me for that because I couldn't remember his middle name. We're going to go to some of that original music that you love. And it is about the towns, the cities, the mountains. It is about life. It is about country living. It's about the way that we loved America back in the Mayberry days. And that's what he wrote about. He wrote about things that really happened in these small towns. So here we go.
The bank says it's foreclosing and the pickup needs repair. The LP tank's on zero and my wheel is almost there. The hope I had left with you when you walked out the door, I would say things can't get worse, but I've been wrong before. The postman brought a letter. He said he needs my signature. He don't know you had to go and the way you left me here. I told him I don't love you, oh, but the Lord knows I still do. And he knows just what I feel inside and the things I'm going through. My brother said there's a bottle that'll make this go away. I could drink until it's over or until my dying day. I could do all this and tell myself I don't care anymore. And I could hope it don't get worse again, but I've been wrong before. Left a message on my phone. I called in to talk to him to see what's going on. They're laying off across the plant, employees by the score. I would say things can't get worse, but I've been wrong before. And I could turn to the bottle and make this go away. I could drink until it's over or until my dying day. I could do these things and tell myself I don't care anymore. And I could hope it don't get worse again, but I've been wrong before. The country's going straight to hell on a highway paved with hope. And if we keep playing around with this, we'll hang by our own rope.
How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Ellijay. That's with a J.
About 90 miles north of Atlanta, where the Coosawhatee lay, they come out of the hills to pay their telephone bills in a town called Ellijay. When the mayor drove a shiny 62 Corvette, Slim was in a cruiser with a Cobra jet. What you see is exactly what you get if you come to Ellijay. Hey, Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, 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 good enough for you and me. Yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. Leave all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'm so proud to call a piece of this mine a town called Ellijay.
How you like
the middle of town. And late in the evening when the sun goes down, you can drive through and hear the happy sounds of the folks in Ellijay. Now way back in the summer of '73, the Red Dot parking lot was the place to be. But you could get more than what you bargained for back in those days in Ellijay. Yeah, you could. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, good enough for you and me. Yeah, 69 Roadrunner, Charger RT, pistol grip 4-speed, 383. Boys, that's the way it all used to be, right here in Ellijay. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, don't you want to come and see? Yeah. Trout fishing, skinny dipping, party all night. Praise the Lord, honey, I saw the white picking on a Telecaster Saturday night on the streets of Ellijay. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. You and me floating down the Kusawati. Yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. I'm so proud to call a piece of his mine. Drop all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'll see you in Ellijay. Woo. Yeah.
Anyway, Ellijay, go ahead, Chief.
I'm looking down from a hilltop at the lights of my hometown. This place is all so different now. They've closed the pool room down. That old wooden bridge I fished from is replaced with man-made stone. The swimming pool and our old school, like you, they both are gone. Looking back on all the summers since 1969, long ago and far away, when I thought you were mine. For better or worse, thick or thin, so much has changed since then. My crazy heart spins round and round when I dream of way back when the rock and roll would play in that old silver Chevrolet, and AM rock was all we knew back then. Big brown eyes and short Levi's, I remember you, but it's all over now, baby blue. so gently from the mountains to the sea. And the track that took my dad to war in 1943 still stretches by the depot like so many years before. But like you, the train's on a different track. It don't come here no more. And the rock and roll would play in that old silver Chevrolet. And AM rock was all we knew back then. Big brown eyes and short Levi's, I remember you. But it's all over now, baby blue. Red wall tires, western flies, and 8-track Suzy Q. It's all over now, baby blue.
Okay, it is still a little bit cold outside. It is still a little dangerous on some of the roads, so I'm going to give you some advice. Go to a cookbook. Cook for your family. Get in the kitchen. Enjoy time with your grandkids. In memory of a very, very precious lady who left here during the year 2023. Lois Chastain went to be with Jesus, and Jesus was so ready to receive that beautiful young lady. I would love to have any of her handwritten recipes. If you have not sat and handwritten your recipes for your children, for your grandchildren, ladies, do it today. Do it today. What I would give to have some of Lois's handwritten recipes just for me, for my keepsake, for my memories. Create memories today. As you're sitting inside, as it's cold, as it's blur and you don't want to be outside, spend some time creating a memory for somebody, because one day we'll all be gone and all they'll have left are the memories of us. So create those memories today for the next generation. Handwrite and share the recipes that you have provided for your family for many years, because one day when you're not here, they'll say, now how did Mama do that? Leave them directions, leave them instructions, and leave them a little bit of love. I'll see you again soon on ETC.